Isaac almost faced the exact same problem as his father, but he responded completely differently. Day 8 of reading the Bible chronologically was Genesis chapter 25, verses 1 through 26, and 1 Chronicles chapter 1, verses 28 through 34. And I am going into week 2. The question I'm carrying is, can human beings trust God enough to stop grasping? Meaning, when God's promise takes longer than we expect, can we resist trying to force the outcome ourselves? And today, Abraham's story finally ends. After Sarah dies, Genesis says Abraham takes Keturah as a wife and has 6 more sons with her. Chronicle later calls her his concubine, a secondary wife with a lower legal and inheritance status. Scripture records it, but it doesn't tell us that everything Abraham did was God's ideal. Then Abraham dies at 175, full of years. That doesn't mean Abraham lived perfectly. It means he lived a long, completed life. And I think that matters because Abraham really did grow in faith without becoming flawless before he died. Then something unexpectedly peaceful happens. Isaac and Ishmael bury him together. Genesis doesn't tell us they were close, but after everything that separated them, the 2 brothers can still stand together at their father's grave, and God kept his promise to Ishmael too. The boy who nearly died in the wilderness now has 12 sons, 12 princes. And then the story shifts to another barren marriage. Isaac marries Rebekah at 40. She can't have children, and Isaac is 60 when Jacob and Esau are born. 20 years. And this is where the contrast with Abraham becomes really interesting. Abraham and Sarah also waited years for a promised son. Eventually, instead of waiting, they used Hagar to produce an heir themselves. That was grasping. God promised the outcome, but they tried to control the method. Now Isaac faces the same uncertainty. But Genesis says Isaac pleaded with the Lord for his wife. No second woman is introduced. No alternative heir. He prays, and eventually, God answers. Then Rebekah becomes pregnant, the children struggle inside her, and she goes directly to God, asking what has happened. God tells her, 2 nations are in your womb. Isaac prays, Rebekah asks, and maybe that gives us our first answer to week 2's question. Can we trust God enough to stop grasping? Maybe we can, because we don't have to inherit every mistake of the generation before us. We can keep their faith, learn from their failures, and respond differently when the same test reaches us. If you guys would like to read the full reflections on my daily reads, you can find me on Substack on author S.A. Guzman.